all our dealings with ourselves and with other people are predominantly encapsulated in these 5 areas: self-awareness, self-expression, inspiration, empathy, social engagement. So self-awareness is being in the mirror and then looking at ourselves. Mirror is external, but meditation is allowing us to put up that internal mirror so that we understand what is internal. It's all about our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our reactions, those little sensations, that intuitional feeling, all of that. We're becoming aware of it. We don't try to change the environment, instead we change ourselves, and then automatically it's happening. And hence, it gives an opportunity to do something. There's an inner voice telling you exactly what's happening to you. That inner voice does not exist before meditation. So self-awareness is about becoming aware of what's happening to us. Self-expression is to gaining courage to express what is important to you. This can happen when our beliefs slowly change and when that negative chatter, that worrisome, anxious feelings slowly changes, then we start expressing. When we start expressing, then we start claiming, because your thoughts and feelings create a reality, not recognizing that there is abundance. But mostly it is self-created fear that we recognize and we're not able to express it, but now we express it. Inspiration is, with meditation, we are taking action. As we gain confidence, we take action. And as we recognize that I'm the one who's creating situations around me, so we start taking responsibility. And so when we take responsibility, when we take action, then we start becoming an inspiration to others. Empathy is recognizing that you and me are one in many ways. As meditation is helping us drop the separation, we're becoming one. And so the way we engage, the way we think and talk about, we feel about others is exactly the way we feel and talk about ourselves. We are in many ways becoming a leader in our own way, and then start engaging with others, recognizing that our experiences of life get multiplied when we engage and work more and more people and places and things. So meditation is helping us transform and helping us develop all these areas. So understanding our thought pattern, understanding our emotion. What emotions am I carrying along with when I'm seeing a person? What is that emotion that is coming up to me? Some past event that has happened. Where are my emotions? Am I still continuing to feel the loss that has happened a long time ago? Or that feeling of frustration because people are not letting me do things? Reaction patterns. So how am I reacting? It is common that you go into meetings and then somebody is triggering a response. They're triggering. You don't know much, so don't talk about it. Somebody can be as direct. You feel so miserable. Meditation is helping us become aware of these patterns. One person in a room with a meditator can change the energy, because the way you carry and the way we can cool down, change the temperament or the moods in the meeting room. Happy morning, everybody. Great afternoon and wonderful evening. Emotional intelligence, or this holistic intelligence, must lead to a joyous life. Daniel Goleman is a very popular author. He's written a book called Emotional Intelligence. One must read this book to know more about it. Our IQ is playing very little. The intelligence at workplace or anywhere is playing very little. Is the EQ that plays maximum, even to the extent of 80% in our success, in our happiness. Emotional intelligence helps us to implement what we learn. The nature of impermanence is there. Everything is impermanent. Everything is energy, and matter is only temporary. Anything matter that must decay the moment you withdraw your attention on it. So Alexander the Great, when he's conquered a lot of places, right? From Europe, he came to all the way to India. He conquered many places, of course, in the process. He had to kill many people. He had to really work for his entire life just doing that. And then while going back, happy and contented, he stopped in some place and then he wanted to see what is around. Is there any good place to see or any people to meet? Then his advisors told him, there is nothing to see here, but there is a man here who is very interesting. Then he wanted that person to come to him, but he said, no, I'm not coming. So then Alexander had to go there, and Alexander went there. This person is called Diogenes. So Diogenes is like a mystic. He's there, very happy to himself in that remote area. So then Alexander asked him, how come you are so arrogant? People have come to bring you to me, the great king, and you still didn't bother to come. What is special with you? And then Diogenes said, before that, let me ask you a question then. So where are you going now? So he said, I'm going back to my home. So then he said, are you happy with your life? Yes, now when I go back, I'm going to be happy because I conquered the entire world. So I'm going to be happy now. I've gone here, I've gone there, everything is done now. So now I've got everything I ever need. So then Diogenes said, if that's all, Mr. Alexander, to be happy, I've been happy in my whole life without doing anything, just being here by myself. If happiness is all you want, then you're not intelligent at all. You don't have even the basic understanding. You're so attached to the material things that you think is real. You're so attached to yourself. Look at me, I'm just so happy here. It doesn't matter if that's all it is. So you have lived a wasteful life. So it's important. Applying what we know, the knowledge, to applying it to what we know in our daily life is essential to know more about ourselves. Once again, applying what we know is essential to know more about ourselves. So the truth that we're learning, that no judgments, that no compliance, that live ethically, no, you cannot harm other animals. You cannot interfere in somebody's lives. Never waste time. So these all are there. Break the routine, do things differently. Everything is there. But we must start implementing them, because unless we implement, we will not get the door or the key open for the next phase of our life in understanding ourselves fully. They are very interrelated. As our consciousness is expanding, as our knowledge, wisdom is expanding, every time we learn something new, we must look to make that knowledge into wisdom experiential, so that then we have more knowledge revealed to us. Everything is like that. You'll suddenly get another workshop popping up into you. When you learn from there, then you'll start getting experiences to implement it. When nature of impermanence is there, recognizing that yes, this much is, how much to earn is a question, right? How much to earn? How much to save? Is saving required? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves. Is saving required? And how much to earn? And what is the right use of money? If in the models of happiness, physical pleasures are there, then mental pleasures are there, then intellectually you transcend, you understand, you're happy, soul pleasures are there, then why would we, then we recognize that there is a higher and increasing order of pleasures, then why we continue to stay at a lower level of happiness? For example, we use the discrimination all the time. If you are doing a job and then it pays you 10,000 rupees a month, and then the moment you understand, the moment you get an offer that gives you 30,000 rupees, if all being equal, you immediately make a shift, right? You go there. The moment you know that something gives you higher, enables you higher, you go there. That's extra energy. It's our constant pursuit to go into the higher levels of knowledge, higher levels of experiences. And so it comes to do with our time management. It comes to same with our resource management that we have. And all of this is tied to how much attached or not attached you are with a given situation, with people, places. We earn, and if you don't put the money to the right use, then we lose the money elsewhere. You'll spend a lot of money in hospitals. You'll spend a lot of money in probably somebody steals or something will happen. You lose a lot of money in stock markets. It's got to happen because we recognize, we are aware in the path of development. I empower many people. You recognize you have an opportunities coming in, but then you have this the thing that, okay, I don't have time. I don't have time. You're just not breaking that routine that I don't have time. While it is your decision to create is what propels us forward. Is our decision. We got to make an intent. We learn that a higher wisdom. We learn that when you make an intent, then all universe is conspiring to make things happen for you. So the intent, if you create and say, yes, I'm supporting this project, yes, I'm going and giving my time for this, and I'm doing these activities, you make an intent, you make a decision for yourself, then it is happening. Emotional intelligence is required to be able to live into that moment. If you make a decision to live, to spend your day very happily that day, I said, today, no matter what, I'm very, very happy. No matter what, today, I'm very, very happy. I'm spending my time happily. We make a strong intent that day morning, experiment with yourself. And somebody at in your office, you say, hey, your work just did not do right. It has so many bugs, and I think you just done real mistakes. You will still be happy because suddenly this intent will come to you. You will be happy. You will recognize that, okay, no matter what, I'm going to be happy. Just because you said, okay, what is done is done. I can't undo what has been done. So you're going to be happy. At home, you tell something to your dad or your mom, and if they made this decision that I'm happy today, they will not feel. They will recognize it with an emotional intelligence which is always coming out. Emotional intelligence primarily is driven through awareness. So they'll recognize and say, I'm happy. Yes, my son has said something ignorant, but let me be, today is my day. I'm going to be happy. It is a decision that we take when we make an intent. Then our brain is, of course, working towards it. And so is the case where the forces are conspiring to help us. But we must take the decision bravely. What is stopping us? It's our lack of emotional regulation. We are still continue to be attached to our experience that we're carrying from 4 days. I'm in a project, I'm continue to be in the project, in that work, and then think that I'm too busy and I can't take time at all. We're attached to that experience, we continue that experience, whereas the model is to detach ourselves from that experience. So being aware to detach from moment to moment. So our resources must be utilized very, very effectively. The higher the pleasures, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, sure, taking care of your mind by spending time in various aspects, spending money and time in various things is good, like jewelry, clothes. Must enjoy them, right? It's fine, that's the way it is for experience, and that's where we transcend slowly. But then we continuously increase in order, and then reading books, intellect, stimulate your intellect, expand knowledge, and then intellect is stimulated, automatically our mind and body are getting better and better automatically, because your ability to discern right and wrong comes. And then soul energy, the bliss is there. Intellect, you start understanding how much that I should have, accumulate. Material intellect is where you start understanding permanence and impermanence of things. Soul pleasures are there. So we must do all of them, but then we must continually make a decision to go higher. So on a weekend, when you have an opportunity to attend Patriji's program versus going for a movie versus spending time with the family and making some great dish, you decide. There are 3 levels of pleasures. Another one may be your exercise. You have your exercise. So these 4 are opportunities at a given time. What do you do? Each one has a different levels, right? One is for your body, another is for your mind, another is emotionally bonding together, learning more together when you are with people. When there's an opportunity, you must meet people and then learn from them. And then, of course, with the Patriji session with meditation, so I'm going to get my soul pleasure, intellect, wisdom, and then soul pleasure. So we make a choice. We continuously attempt to make choices in a more discrimination we use and then try to make a choices. But in the end, we still go with a feeling at that moment. Our feeling is driving, which is what Duryodhana has done. He went with his feeling in the end. He says, I know everything, Krishna, but I still want to not give, I still aim for war. But that's what he has done. And then we'll go with our feelings. Our feelings are the collective psyche based on our program, so we go with it, right? But we constantly attempt to discriminate and jump off of it. Emotional intelligence is essential. So let's go into meditation and understand emotional intelligence through that wheel of self awareness, self regulation, inspiration, empathy, and engagement. They are the 5 areas of how you can cover this gamut of emotional intelligence, which is about dealing with people, places, things. Self awareness, self regulation, inspiration, empathy, and engagement. Engagement means being able to inspire, being able to with people, and then do larger things. So relax yourself, sit comfortably. We are going into breath mindfulness meditation and anapanasati meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind. We have thousands of thoughts. Many of them are driven through these beliefs, old memories. And so our goal is to empty the mind. When we empty the mind slowly, slowly, we are removing all the unwanted thoughts, which are the majority, more than 80%, all the unwanted thoughts away over a period of time. And our goal is also, and when you empty your mind, then we are experiencing this greater energy, that emptiness. We are with the prana, the cosmic energy. We experience receiving a ton of cosmic energy into our body. We merge into this cosmic energy, we merge with it, and then we experience something greater than our body. So that's the quantum energy field, or the consciousness. So we experience it. So our goal is to empty the mind. So we close our eyes, remove the specs, fingers into fingers, resting your hands comfortably in your lap, cross your feet at ankle. That's the posture. Crossing the feet at ankle, fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap, close your eyes, remove the specs, observe your breath at this point. Take this point as a reference. Observe your natural breath going in, coming out. Natural breath, no forceful inhalation or exhalation. When you observe your natural breath, that's going in and coming out. Let it be natural. Don't manipulate the breath. Going in, coming out. And then as you observe the breath, and then see that the breath is going through this point, right? If you have trouble observing breath here, then take the tip of the nose. I'm sure here you can observe, just subtle observation that breath is going in, cold air is going in, coming out. As you observe the breath, mind becomes empty. As mind is becoming empty, then we start experiencing emptiness energy. Be with it, become aware of it. Energy coming as many, many different experiences in the body, moments of the body, sensations in the body, some kind of visions, colors, many things can happen in the mind. Be a witness to them. In case you recognize you're thinking, that you're actually thinking about your actual life, that means you are not in empty state. So bring your attention back to the breath again. Attention back to the breath and again observe. Continue to observe it again, you'll go into the emptiness. Then again, your emptiness is broken by thoughts that randomly comes. Bring your attention back to the breath. So the whole duration, we're doing this, right? When you're experiencing the emptiness, I'm guiding and saying, become aware of that no body, no thing state, where there are no people, no places, everything's an empty. So that is to consciously be going into and then be with that emptiness. But in case you are with thought, attention back to the breath, even though whether I say or not say, if you are in thought, bring your attention back to the breath and go with it. Before doing that, we are doing something called heart elevation process. Just follow my guidance actively. And then today in our meditation, we're doing this heart elevation first, and then we're doing breath mindfulness meditation, and then we are doing intents. We're doing intents about increasing our experience of life, for increasing our emotional intelligence, about relationships. So there'll be a few minutes of segment where I send affirmations, and then you can repeat, or if you can do your own version of affirmation with a heightened feeling. I'm loving my life and everyone's loving me. I recognize the impermanence of things and I am not attached to anything. So there will be some affirmations, and then so you can repeat with an heightened emotion feeling. So we're going to do that. As we always said, when you're in this alpha theta states after meditation, anything you program is very powerful. It's working for us. So we do that, and then we express gratitude and come out. Relax yourself, sit comfortably, dear friends, with your eyes closed. Relax your body. Relax every bit of it. Dear friends, keep your hands on your chest area with your eyes closed, specs removed. Eyes closed. Specs removed. Rest your attention on your sacred heart and on your breath, and take a slow, long, relaxing breath. And can you feel your beautiful heart? Breathe more of that slow, long, relaxing breath. And can you feel that seed of all emotions, which is helping life thrive with its love energy, with its gratitude energy? I want you to recollect an experience from your past, or you from your present, or from your mind movie, where you felt enormous love, joy, compassion, gratitude, or any of the elevated emotions, and relive that experience and elevate yourself. Relive that experience of joy, gratitude, compassion, care, or whatever, and then feel that energy inside your beautiful heart. The more we experience these emotions, this energy, dear friends, the more we experience oneness with all things and everybody, the more coherent we become with this consciousness. Feel more of it. Relive that moment and feel the love energy, that gratitude energy. We're all deeply interconnected. The nature of the universe is to bring order and coherence among all things and everybody with love, with gratitude, with joy. Come on, dear friends, feel it. Feel that energy. And allow yourself to expand that energy beyond your body onto every corner of this planet Earth. Remember, where your attention goes, there the energy flows. Feel the love, the joy, that gratitude inside of you, all around you. The more you experience love at your heart, the more you can extend that energy to all things and everybody. The more expansive you can feel at your heart, the more one you can become with all things and everybody. Feel it, dear friends. and allow yourself to direct that energy to heal yourself deeply. Where your attention goes, there the energy flows. And allow yourself to radiate that energy onto all things and everybody. But it's bound to be received by the needy. So with a greater intent to be of great help to everybody and everything, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath, dear friends. With your eyes closed, observe your in-breath and the out-breath. Our goal is to empty the mind. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap and observe that natural in-breath and the out-breath, dear friends. We are into this powerful group meditation. Be with your breath. Become one with that in-breath and the warm out-breath, dear friends. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. When our mind is becoming empty, we channelize all that energy into the generous present moment. Our body gets reconditioned from the several past beliefs and memories. We increase our power of thought. We allow our body to function at its natural best. Be with your breath. Notice the lightness in your breath. Notice the shallowness in your breath and allow yourself to merge into that lighter, shallow in-breath and the out-breath. Allow yourself to slowly and slowly become empty of all thoughts in your mind. As your mind is becoming empty, observe any sensations in your body. Can you become aware of that emptiness inside of you, all around you, as you merge into your breath? That's energy. All emptiness is energy. Allow yourself to experience that infinite depth of that emptiness spreading far and wide. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness and stay connected to this energy field, that quantum field of unlimited possibilities. The longer you stay connected to this emptiness as no body, as no thing, the more you receive from this quantum field of possibilities. This is the field of unlimited. This is the field of unknown. Allow yourself to experience this abundance of energy in this field. If you find yourself in thought, Gently go back to observing your breath, dear friends, and find that emptiness all around. Stay aware of that emptiness, of that energy as no body, and allow yourself to stay connected into this field. The longer you stay in this field of light, of that energy, the more you become of it, the more you receive from it, the more creative you become. Allow yourself to stay away from your body, stay away from your life, and allow yourself to stay connected to the abundance of energy If you are in thought, gently go back to observing your breath and slowly find that emptiness all around. All emptiness is energy. This is your greater consciousness. Everybody and everything are connected in this field. The more you experience this energy, the more you become one with all things and everybody. Go deeper and deeper into yourself, into that emptiness of yourself, that light. The longer you experience this emptiness and energy, the more you're becoming whole again and again. Friends, at this time, I would like you to set your intentions to live life more greatly. As you are experiencing this emptiness and energy, whatever we intend, we send the signal strongly to this field. I want you to set the intentions with greater energy, with a greater heightened emotion in your body. I love life and it loves me. I'm filled with gratitude for all that I have, to everybody and everything. Every day and in every way, I experience joy more and more. I am courageous and feel fearless. I express positivity. I express my feelings positively with balance. I am developing great friendships with everyone. I am aware of my thoughts and feelings all the time. I respond with empathy in every situation. Come on, feel it, dear friends. Feel. I forgive, forgive, and forgive. I'm inspiring others all the time. I am living an abundant life of friendships. I recognize my experience of life are multiplied when I am one with all things and everybody. I am that unlimited. I am the divine. I am of great help to all things and everybody. Relax your body. Relax yourself and express gratitude. Whatever we emotionally embrace must manifest into our physicality. Express gratitude to all things and everybody for helping us create this great future for ourselves. Be grateful to your parents, your teachers and mentors, your friends, your family, your relatives, your colleagues, everybody. Be grateful. To this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals. And be grateful to all the things you use, the places you visit, your systems, your governments. And gratitude to yourself and to this intelligent universe. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends, hope you enjoyed that session. Can one of the facilitators call Manju, who is with Patriji, who is trying to reach me? There is a possibility that Sa may be wanting to join. So just wanted to see that if that's the reason why they're calling us. So friends, as we are relaxing into these energies, let's dwell a little deeper into this emotional intelligence. Let me share a slide. The more times we understand okay. Ultimately, when we are on the path of meditation, with increased emotional intelligence and with increased spiritual understanding, first we enhance the relationships and slowly we dissolve the relationships. Relationships get better, and then over a period we recognize that everything is really friendship. Everything ultimately is friendship. Whether it is with anyone, is ultimately when you have a friendship, then the relationship will really last longer. But we will recognize that, we will slowly understand it. Friendship, where it is a relationship is marked with freedom, relationship where no expectations, you are there with somebody is because you experience more of life. Not the relationship that does not bind, does not make it a contract. But the emotional intelligence can be understood into these 5 areas: self-awareness, self-expression, inspiration, empathy, and engagement. All our experiences with others can be explained through these 5 things. And meditation is developing each of these qualities naturally. The jnana and meditation, when combined, they're developing these qualities most naturally. Self-awareness is becoming aware of our current thought, current emotion, current reaction that you're about to give to somebody, becoming aware of every of those, all of those aspects, those patterns. So when you develop this self-awareness, and which is happening through meditation, so naturally now we have an opportunity to respond differently. That's all. Simple. And self-expression takes from there, and then when you respond differently, you're responding positively, expressing what you need, or questioning what you think is right in a positive, in a non-hurtful way. You recognize because this emotional intelligence is there, you can express it. You can tell a colleague, no, it's not possible, let's not do it outright, or you are expressing it and say, I recognize and understand what you're saying, but tell you what, if you do this, then this can be better. There are different ways of saying the same. So self expression is expressing whatever that you want to experience, but in a very positive, artistic way. That's self expression with energy, with courage. Inspiration is as we meditate, as we start creating things that the way we want it, we automatically become inspired. So we inspire others. So inspiration is where your existence means inspiration to others. First, you are inspired, then others are getting inspired through your action. Empathy is where you are helping and you're understanding everybody, you're putting yourself in other shoe, and then understanding from that perspective. Empathy, that I exist, you exist, we can together exist. I grow, you grow, we can together grow. Every time you are looking from others' point of view also, because you truly recognize that happiness is there when others are happy, and not only you are happy, others are happy too around. And engagement is where you're actively engaging. It's like the deliberate creation. You're actually taking action. You're actively inspiring people to do more collective, larger things. So let's understand a little bit more self awareness. Because we are in the present moment, as we regularly meditate and as our thousands of thoughts are coming down, right, when we have a very, very busy mind, so naturally we have no, our attention span is anyway coming down, right? 6 to 8 times a minute. So the very less attention span of anything, and there are so many thousands of thoughts are happening regularly, and so there is very little opportunity for us to even inspect, right? There's little opportunity for us to inspect when we are in this rush of things. But with meditation, it is slowing the brain down, and then a meditator, long-term meditator, slowly are maintaining a less number of thought. So there is time for introspection between thoughts. There is time. So there is time that you can look into. So there is this, because we are in this present moment where the past we're able to detach, and then future is something we're staying away, and so we are able to notice what's happening to us. Before meditation, suddenly we are just giving a mouthful without it knowing. Less than a second, all it takes. A trigger comes, and then we just open up and then give it away. Or we just suddenly go into that shell. Before meditation, when someone says something, we go into our own shell. We withdraw completely, go into that room, or go away from that place. But after meditation, we are very aware of that condition. We are aware of our thought, we are aware of that emotion that's coming up, we're aware of that response that you're about to give, and then that's all is required. The moment we are aware, then we have the ability to change it. So then, the moment we are aware, and if we are regularly, of course, there is a common sense wisdom for us, and we're also recognizing, and we are also reading and developing more and more knowledge, and so the brain is designed to pull and new response from various faculties. It could be the same way that you responded to withdraw yourself and then go into the shell, or you stay there and confront the situation as a different response and express it what you like or don't like in a given moment, rather than going away from it, walking away from there. So there is a new response that brain is able to pull based on the knowledge that we gained. So that's why it's important that we continuously understand better knowledge, higher wisdom through the spiritual books, because all that is there and that it needs to be applied. So the brain has got the capability to pull various ways that you can respond, and so we have a different response. The moment we are aware of our thoughts patterns, emotion patterns, reaction patterns, then automatically now we are giving a different response. We have the choice to give a different response. And when we do that, dear friends, then automatically, then we start developing, that we start developing a better relationship. Many people withdraw themselves from participation because if they feel, hey, they are very angry person, short-tempered person, so let's not even open up to a debate or a discussion because I lose out and then suddenly I express. And so they avoid, essentially by withdrawing means you avoid situations, you're staying away. When people come home, then we stay away from some people because we recognize that, okay, so it's going to cause a bad experience and emotion in me, and so I withdraw, I walk away, I go away from there. And so then we are, in the first place itself, we are not ready to meet people. But now with meditation, the self-awareness improves, so we do a different response. And so we're bravely facing. So what does it mean? We are gaining confidence because we no longer respond the way we're responding. If someone says you're good for nothing, you're not able to take care of just your small family, you can't take care of two children. When you hear that, before meditation, since we are living for others, so there is so much, we just feel totally lack of self-worth and we just lose out and say, am I that bad? Is that all it is? I can't even do it. People are telling me this. The more times, especially people in authority tell us that, then we start losing confidence. We lose that self-worth. We lose our self-worth the more times we feel. But with meditation, when we are not responding the same way, we have a choice. Somebody can tell what they are, you're stupid. Okay, we don't become stupid, right? We don't become stupid just because they said something. We introspect, but then we don't become stupid. We most certainly not respond the same way as we're doing before. So we develop confidence automatically. And so when we develop confidence about ourselves, most importantly about ourselves, because if you're losing out, if you're short-tempered, suddenly you've made a laughing stock of ourselves. Because what happens when you express emotions, emotions in moderation is there. When you express emotion out of place, so we gain a lot of self-worth about ourselves. That is the first point. When our emotion regulation is happening, we gain a self-worth. We gain confidence and self-worth. The moment we have a self-worth, then all things start for us. Because the definition of what we are changes for ourselves. I am everything we hear that I am unlimited. I am as good as everybody else. I'm equal to everybody. I have equal memory, equal intelligence of every kind. So when we recognize, then we start recognizing all the power that we have. So self-worth, or self-love, not being critical about ourselves is so important. So first thing that's happening, dear friends, with the self-awareness, we're increasing our self-worth. We no longer get put off by people easily. We might take it the moment, but the next moment we're out of it. We're becoming resilient. So the moment we have this confidence, the moment we start expressing, then of course we pay close attention. in the way we speak, in the way we act, in the way we think, because that awareness has come now. So the way we think and speak and act, everything is now, we pay close attention. Once we have this self-worth, once we love ourselves, the next thing we're going to do, and naturally it's going to happen, is to give that to people around. Automatically we extend that love to others when self-worth is there. Now the moment we gain confidence, and then when you know that, okay, you are equally worthy, you are eligible to receive the same opportunity, you're eligible to receive the same amount of love or same amount of compassion from others, then you start expressing yourself. That is self expression. We start expressing, because before we always thought of low of ourselves. So a lot of times with a lot of business people, we feel lack of confidence because we feel that I don't have that skill. So people try to avoid business people. Anybody who's wearing suits, then you suddenly get into some adrenal raises and say, okay, so will I carry myself well here? Am I going to look stupid? We just have set ourselves, we put ourselves a little lower. They are good at something, you're good at other. So we lose that fear of being in with people. So when we have fear, then we avoid, then we lose opportunity, right? They may be bringing that message to you. They may be bringing that synchronous experience to you. Whether it is very senior people, whether it is ordinary people, now you are able to equally express and be with yourself, right? Whether it is a top leader, politician, or with your family member, you are at ease with your family member. You're not at ease because you fundamentally feel that there is some fear of failure, some fear of, I don't know, if I don't express well, if I don't say things, we shy away. All of this is coming because we have less self-worth about ourselves. And so it increases, dear friends, with the meditation, based on our experience of as our emotional patterns change, as our responses change to situations, so we start becoming more confident, and so we start facing situations very well. We start participation. And with that confidence, we are expressing. With that confidence, we are expressing what we need, whatever we need. Self-expression is to claim what is important to you. First of all, you are positive. You're no longer expressing negative things. That is a positive, you're creating positive vibration. When you create a positive vibration, if a person gave you a comment in your meeting, in a review, earlier you would take it very personally and I respond back strongly. But now you're saying maybe there is a point, maybe there is a reason why the other person is saying it. So you are slowing down and saying, okay, can you explain to me a little differently? Before, it would be you never understand, you always make a comment on me, because we take it very personally. But here, maybe there is a point you're telling, and then so you ask differently. That is sufficient to change the energy. So you're expressing positively, so you change the energy around you. And so whatever now you express, you recognize that in order to be happy, I need to align to what I really like. Your mother-in-law is telling you to get up at 5:30 every day because she gets up. Because she gets up, and then we expect that others also should be there, right? That is how we conditioned. I am that senior, I am there, so how can you not be there? But now you can express it. You will express, but more positively. You're already changed your expression. You no longer, again, you also go into an authoritative mode and say, I'm not doing it. How can you say this? And then you go and tell your husband or your spouse. But now you you sit down with her when she's in a good mood, and then to tell her why it is important for you that you can only wake up at 6:30. And then after waking up, you will experience and explain why it's important that you need to do your half an hour meditation before you go out. Because we gain balance in expression, we don't lose out. They may say something, but we're still composed. When we are composed and we gain balance, automatically we're not giving energy to what the others are saying. When you don't give energy to what others are saying, then it does not flare up, it has to come down. We approach from a position of compassion. We approach from the position of understanding, because the more knowledge we gain, and then we avoid bursting out, we avoid feeling bad. Instead, we approach from understanding the other person with more compassion. We become more truthful. We gain that confidence to express that my morning time is important for me. This 10 to 11 is important for me. I need to practice my music. So please help me, allow me to do it. So we're able to express. And what you express is what you create, right? What you think and feel, and then you more you talk about it, the more you create it. Right? We have to ask and it shall be given is always there. So we have to ask. A lot of times we don't ask. Being fearful at work, we did not like the project we are working, but we don't ask, thinking that if I ask, and then it's like questioning the manager, and then when I question the manager, it's going to impact my appraisal, it's going to impact my hike, it's going to impact my current role. Many things we make assumptions, we don't ask, we don't muster the courage to ask. Now with meditation, we develop that courage because our inner, we have been trained to experience and then reflect upon our inner. So our feelings are there, our feelings become more stronger, so we're able to go and then express it. And then express it more balanced, naturally we start creating things that we want. So people respond back to us. We have seen it. Many of them said that I think positive about them and then walk into a meeting, so they're responding. I'm going into a client, and earlier, whatever that when we were having it, I was very fearful of facing this client before. But now I'm going in because what am I to lose? The client may yell at me one more time, or a second time, or a third time. It happens, right? Clients ill because they're also irritated. They're also human beings. They're irritated, so they literally yell at you. So they're fearful of facing a client. But say, just because I said it, I don't become one. I have a different response to choose. So you can change dynamics in a meeting. You can absolutely change. One person is all sufficient and required in a large meeting to change the energy in that room, because this person is choosing to give a different response to what is happening, and then is able to be an example because he is always peaceful, calm there, and is also be able to regulate that energy by giving a different response, and then bring and say, guys, let's relax, cool down. So when we start expressing, when we develop that confidence to express, dear friends, we must express. Not arrogantly, but with positively, with passionately. We must express what we like, what is important. Don't sweep things under the carpet. If you are at workplace and then you feel that something is not right, you must stand up to and express it. We don't express because, oh, there's a senior architect, and then if I express anything to them, this guy will not cooperate with me. That is being untruthful. But meditation is helping us to be more truthful, and then so we must go and express it, because we still have this larger contract with this company. And then when you are truthful and then you're expressing positively, not in a way to put the other person down, your intention is important. Our intention when expression is very important. Intention is to put the other person down. Our intention is to see and then get better in the situation. If that intention is right, and then we express it more balancedly, unhurtfully, it's got to absolutely go down. And then we're developing that skill, dear friends. Naturally, we're developing that skill. Everything happening from this awareness. And so as a result, we no longer become defensive. We no longer prove our points to people. We no longer become defensive because now you're expressing it. When you don't express, you're defensive all the time. You're supporting your actions. You don't get into arguments. You don't get into judgments. Arguments are the ones where you're trying to prove your points. You avoid them. You express it and then you leave it. You no longer take things personally when they say something back also. Right? So when you don't take personally, then you're not giving energy, so you're not going into arguments, you're avoiding arguments. You know a different response to give. Everything starts from self-expression. Our experience of life starts from expressing it. At home, at work, in the community. So we'll understand the other aspects of emotional intelligence on Friday. Tomorrow is a business leader day, so we'll have, again, leaders who are meditating will come back and share how it's helping them, how meditation is helping them. So that's what we'll learn after meditation. Thank you very much for giving your time. The more times we are listening in, the more we are understanding these aspects. But expression, creation starts with expression. More artistically, acknowledging the feelings and express is always a great way of doing things. When a child comes, when a colleague comes, a junior colleague comes, bubbling with energy and says, I have done this and I want to implement it. And then you know that it may not be right. So saying that no, don't do it. We have to look to see how to avoid no, and as many times as possible. No has to be avoided as much as possible. Instead saying no, oh great, you got it done. Okay, let me understand this. But let's do it. So let's do this in 2 months from now, as we've got the next release coming up, our next product version, our next things coming up. Same thing. Rather than saying no, you can say yes, but differently. Let's have this reviewed, this rest of the team members, and then yes, we can take this forward. Rather than saying outright no, even though you know at that point it may not be the most appropriate thing. When to tell no is also important. It's the right timing. Thank you all. As always, in 2 minutes, we'll take some questions. So otherwise, we'll see you back tomorrow at 6 a.m. All right. Can you unmute Mrudula? Mrudula, madam? Not there.
I don't see it.
Okay. Anybody would like to share your experience? Names of the books for, yes, Emotional Intelligence by Dale Goldman is a great book to read. Richard Bach books are always great. Richard Bach. And Robin Sharma books are also covering a lot of these aspects in a subtle way. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is one of the recommended books, I believe. The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO. Mega Living. There are 3 books I suggest from Robin Sharma. They're nice. They are easy to read. Dale Goldman, Emotional Intelligence, is a little packed, a very packed, dense. It covers really a lot of subject. Can get little academic, that book. Yes.
Yes, sir. We have PK Jain, sir. Please unmute yourself and turn on your video if possible.
Hi, Mrudula. Yes, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning, all. It has been a fantastic session today. I got almost totally wound, totally stilled. Time stopped. Time stopped. I don't know what duration was of this meditation. Time completely stopped. I got up to date around 3:40. I was listening to Krishnamurti's that Shin Zen Dhin, and it has been a fantastic experience today. Totally stunned, totally wound, totally stilled. Time stopped completely. Lot of thanks to you all. Lot of thanks to you all. Life is valuing like anything each day, each moment. Fantastic. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. आपके चरणों में कोटि कोटि नमन, कोटि कोटि नमन. Fantastic. No words beyond.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. We have Soumya Tota. Please unmute yourself.
Namaste, Chandra sir.
Namaste.
Sir, it's a pleasure to know and to be guided by you, sir. Sir, I've been meditating for 6 months now, and for the last 2 months, I've been doing it religiously. So, sir, I'm getting very intense high vibrations during entire meditation and also outside the meditation. So I carry these vibrations throughout the day, and if I read books or even while working, especially spiritual books, I get very high vibrations. So at one point of time, it becomes really exhausting. So last night also, I was doing one of Shreyan's guided meditations. So I couldn't finish it half the way. I had to get up. Even if thought comes in the meditation, still I carry those vibrations. It's very high in my forehead area, in my crown area. So am I doing it right? So I don't know. So can you guide me?
You're doing it right. Increase your understanding about the truth and cosmic truths. So do you read?
Yes, sir. Not much, but I've been reading for 2-3 months now, especially special books. Especially if I read magazines from PSS and the spiritual books, so I get very high vibrations. I can't take it. At one point, it's like a electric shock, like sustaining throughout that period without a gap. So I've also um, reached out to one of the groups to check this. So sir said he will contact me, but he said in CST timing, so he couldn't find time to talk. So I just thought maybe I ask you directly.
Sir means who?
Ramesh, so one of the facilitators of WhatsApp, I was added to the group.
Okay. Facilitators, yeah. So it is a common experience of feeling energy, intense energy. Now, when we are having this, so of course you're a vegetarian.
Yes.
You're a vegetarian, right? And meditation. So you're reading, and during reading, it's increases
Yes,
essentially.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's like how I feel in the meditation. It's the same energy. Even while reading, at times, even when I'm working, I feel. Even now, when I'm talking to you, I still feel vibrations. Sometimes, if I sit alone, also I get those vibrations. Like, literally, I'm like living with the vibrations almost all that day, the entire
Okay.
day. So
Okay.
unless like when I sleep, so it comes down.
Right. And what do you do with all of this? Do you speak to people about it?
Yes, sir, I spoke. I mean, like our family, we have been doing meditation. Like we got into the meditation, all of us in the same time. So nobody has like not much knowledge about it for now. It's just only I and my mother stay here. So she doesn't know much about it, but she practices it. So I have nobody to reach out to
Right.
check on this.
Join us, and then help others in sharing what you are experiencing. So, two things we must do. One is we have to increase our consciousness or the understanding of the truth. So, reading the right books, Life Beyond Life. Read right books to expand yourself of the knowledge from the mundane material things of yes, we can do manifestation, we can do this, we can improve relationships to something larger, right? So read the books of Richard Bach. We were given many lives, many masters. Brian Weiss were given, and there are various concepts of life after death that is being talked about. So read some of these books to know what is there. The more we can expand our consciousness, the more energy we can take in, right? Limited understanding, limited energy. So we need to increase that. And then secondly is you need to utilize this in the right way. So be part of a service. Somewhere you have to take up some role to serve. Either of these two you do, or slow down your meditation, your choice.
So is there a volunteering program with your
Yes.
organization, the energy
Yes.
organization? And
Yes. Call me or call the facilitator.
sure, sir, sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Where are you from?
I'm from Bangalore. Actually, we're basically from Andhra, but we've been settled in Bangalore.
Mangalore,
Yes,
Karnataka.
sir. Karnataka. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Soumya. We have Rimple. Rimple, please unmute yourself.
Yes. Call me, I'll call the facilitator.
Hi, sir. Hi, Sheetal. Sorry, I'll just.
I'm from Bangalore. Actually, we're basically.
I have kept this on YouTube also.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think I get a better volume in that, and I can do my household activities also.
Okay.
After 7:30.
Sure.
So, sir, I am doing very well in meditation, and I think it's been more than 15 days, and I'm doing 3 times a day, sometimes 4 times a day also. But in last 2-3 days, I am feeling that am I even doing this correct again? Because suddenly in the middle of meditation, I get jerks.
Yes.
It's only since last 2-3 days, not more, but every time. So that's the reason I'm raising a question whether this is I'm doing correctly. Even I feel that what is happening. The energies are very high. I feel very good. There are a lot of health benefits, then mental and emotional benefits that I can see. My sleeping hours are amazing.
Yes. That's your next level of experience when you are feeling jerk. So we have these 7 bodies. So our astral body, part of you, which would like to come out and then travel, like what happens in dreams. So the jerks are potentially a symbol of a jerk can be just a jerk. Okay, so you only 2-3 days, so don't bother about it. But it's also this is what people experience when it is coming out of the physical body to travel around to go and then start experiencing a lot of visions. It is an experience that people do. So it wants to come out. As the body energy increases, it wants to come out. As body the resting mode wants to come out. So it can happen, and then just let it be. No worry about it.
Okay.
It is because you're saying you've been practicing it quite a bit, so you perhaps are going into the next stage of experience of experiencing astral travel while consciously being there in meditation. Something that we do it all the time in sleep, but in meditation people are doing too.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And I also promised Lakshmi that I will write my meditation experiences when I was sharing in the breakout room. So she asked me if I could write it for Buddha CEO, LinkedIn, or social media, my experience. So it has been I feel like when I'm collapsing my hands, there is a energy ball floating on my hand.
Yes.
And where I move my eyeballs in that shape, that energy moves. If I move it in the triangle shape, it will move it in that shape. If I move it in the infinity shape, my eyeballs, it will move it in that shape. It seems like I am playing with that energy ball after some time. And seeing that it is taking the shape that I am, I want it to move. Then when there were a couple of times when we do that heart elevation process, I actually never removed my my hands from the heart in the entire meditation, because I felt that that heart started talking. And I actually after in the entire day I mentally wrote an article in my head, talking heart.
Okay.
So was a very wonderful experience, and I really wanted to pen it down, and I am going to pen entire experience in maybe I'll compile everything in experiences of meditation in one book and publish it. That's the kind of experience I have right now.
Please give, we are publishing the first volume of experiences. And so please give your article, ma'am. Enjoy first everything that you're experiencing. If you can
Yes.
be in energy, then you have infinity to create, right? Matter to matter is a lot of things come in the way, but when you're in energy, you can infinity to create and experience it. So it's a great thing to have. So enjoy them. But then, yes, please do write and then send to us.
Yes, I do remember, and I'm going to write and send it very soon.
Revati must contact you. I'm sure she will find. I think will contact you also. But give that article. It'll be really good. Okay.
Sure.
These are the mystical experiences category. Yes.
Sure.
Also, you must read this book, A Soul's Journey by Peter Richelieu.
Okay.
Please read that book. As you are having these experiences, A Soul's Journey by Peter Richelieu. I believe PDF will definitely be available. That one and You Forever by Lobsang Rampa. Another book.
Okay, I think I'll write it down. And
Lakshmi would know.
Okay. Source Journey and
You Forever. You Forever by Lobsang Rampa and A Soul's Journey by Peter Richelieu. As far as I know, both are out of print, and so but PDFs are available, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, PDFs will be there, and because these are printed long ago by publishers, I think must be not doing, but PDFs are available, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Mr. Anbarasu, how is it going with you, sir?
Audible now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Really, it's a wonderful experience. I have started from this June only, but I find myself totally a transformed man. And every program, every book like a book club, manifest, everyone actually I am really fully engrossed in that. I find myself totally a changed man now. And really, Sandra sir and Patriji, I am really grateful to both of you and all other masters who are really taking their time to guide so many people. It's really a God's gift. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you. Where are you from?
I'm from Chennai.
Chennai. Okay. How did you get to know about the program, sir?
Pardon, sir?
How did you get to know about the program?
Through the WhatsApp only.
WhatsApp. Okay, friends. So thank you so much for those. Yes, we all are transforming in some way or the other. Meditation. So thank you all. So we'll meet back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All is well. All is well. I is well, all is well, all is well. I can rest, I am safe, all is well, all is well. I can rest, I am safe, all is well, all is well. I can rest, I am safe.
Thank you all. We can meet tomorrow.
Let's say there's 2 new emails in your inbox. One from a legit looking business and one from whatever this is. Customers only open emails they can trust. Find a domain and get matching professional email, so your business actually looks like a business. Visit godaddy.in to learn more.
Sometime in summer of 2019, I happened to have a discussion with Swamiji at our home and expressed my interest of bringing together Eastern and Western teachers on the same platform at our Arshavidya ashram located in Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania. But due to many, many reasons, that did not materialize, but instead, under the present circumstances, it shaped up in today's virtual event. I would like to thank both of them for making this a reality. Hopefully, once we are over this pandemic, sometime in future, I'll be able to arrange a weekend retreat with similar format at our ashram with a couple of additional teachers like Francis Lucille and Swami Tattvavidananda. Now, I would like to introduce Rick Archer of Bed Gap, well-acclaimed author of Buddha at the Gas Pump. After establishing Bed Gap in 2009, Rick has interviewed more than 250 spiritually awakening people. Many of you may have watched a number of his interviews with many Advaita Vedanta non-duality teachers. Rick will be a moderator for Q&A session for the rest of the event. We would like to thank Rick very much for taking an initiative to lead today's session. With that, now I would like to turn it over to both teachers, starting with Swami Sarvapriyananda.
Namaste, everybody. Yeah.
Swamiji, just in brief, from your perspective, if you can please give a summary of what is non-duality mean to you. We'll start with that, and then Rupert will follow. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Prabodhji, and namaste to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with this worldwide audience, especially with Rupert Spira. So what is non-duality? Well, literally, this word non-duality means not two. And this is the equivalent, English equivalent of the Sanskrit Advaita. Dvaita means two, and Advaita means not two. The crucial insight here is that even when we experience the many, there could be an underlying oneness. So we could be looking at a multiplicity, and we could also know that underneath all of that appearance, it is one reality. For example, look out into the waves of the Atlantic Ocean, and you see thousands of waves there. And we know all of those thousands of waves are actually one water. When you count waves, you can count thousands, all appearing and disappearing. But when you count water, you have to say that there is nothing but water there. There is no second reality apart from water there, though you see thousands of waves. Another example could be gold and ornaments. You see a whole array of gold jewelry maybe, but all different, they look different, they have different names, bracelets, necklaces, and so on. But when you know that there's gold, you know that there is only one reality there, one substance there. Apart from gold, there is no second thing. None of those ornaments are a second reality apart from gold. In fact, the best example would be our dreams. So when we fall asleep and we dream, there are people and there are places and there are activities going on. There is the sky and the earth and so many things, so many activities, so much action. And yet we know when we wake up, there was nothing there except the dreamer's mind. The dreamer's mind in itself appeared as a multiplicity. So that's the crucial insight of non-duality. In the experience of the diversity of our lives, there is an underlying oneness. Now, it's all very well to talk about water and waves or gold and the ornaments or even the dreamer's mind and the multiplicity of a dream. But in this universe, our experience of our life, this tremendous diversity, what is the underlying oneness? What is the underlying non-duality? This is the remarkable thing about non-dual philosophy of Advaita, is that it says, stunningly, it's you. It's you, the real you. You are that non-dual reality, that absolute reality which appears as a multiplicity. How is that possible? So we are invited to take a look at our experience. This is another great thing about Advaita or non-dual philosophy, is that it talks about our present experience, all the time available. Investigate that, and we at once notice that we are aware. We exist, I am, and I'm aware. And we are invited to see that it is in this awareness existence that everything appears. It's not that I am separate and there is a multiplicity of a world outside, but rather when I take a stand in awareness, I notice everything appears to awareness. This awareness is also existence. So in this unlimited awareness existence, here I'm translating a term from Advaita, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Satyam means isness or being. Jnanam means awareness. And Anantam means unlimited. So this unlimited isness awareness is our real nature. Why I say real nature is because we normally think of ourselves as this bundle of flesh and blood and a mind, thoughts and feelings, as a person, embodied person. And non-dualism claims that this couldn't be further from the truth. Deeper investigation into our experience of life shows that we are this unlimited being awareness, isness awareness. And this isness awareness is the fundamental, if you will, the stuff of this universe. There is no second thing, really, apart from this isness awareness. I mean, if there is anything that appears different from this isness awareness, it is also ultimately that same isness awareness, just appearing to be different. So this is the non-dual reality. You The real you, we, the real us, we are the non-dual reality of this universe, which appears as a world of diversity. And non-duality says that once we realize this, it takes us beyond suffering. It gives us the ultimate fulfillment. This non-dual reality is itself isness, awareness, and also all value, meaning, purpose, happiness, fulfillment in life. The Sanskrit ananda or bliss. So this is the claim of non-duality, that we are the ultimate reality of this universe, and there is no second reality apart from this isness awareness. I guess, I mean, in Sanskrit, there's one sentence which sums it all up. It says, Tat Tvamasi, that thou art. You are that. This is, I guess, how you would sum up non-dualism, the Advaita version of it at least. Yes. Rupert?
Thank you, Swami, and hello, everyone, and welcome. What is non-duality? I would suggest that the non-dual teaching has evolved to, or has appeared to answer or respond to three existential questions that have troubled people from all times, in all places, and under all circumstances. The first question refers to our inner life. How may we find lasting peace and happiness? The second question refers to our outer life, the experience of the world and others. What is the nature of reality? And the third question addresses the relationship between ourselves and the world, namely, how should we live? So in response to the first question, the non-dual, the first question, how may we find lasting peace and happiness? The non-dual teaching suggests very simply that happiness is our nature. Happiness is what we are. Happiness is the nature of being. We might respond to this suggestion by saying, well, if happiness is the nature of myself and I am always myself, why do I not experience happiness all the time? And the non-dual teaching responds that whilst everybody has a sense of being their self, everybody has a sense, I am myself. Not everybody knows their self clearly. And it is as a result of this lack of clear self-knowledge that the peace and happiness that are our very nature are not fully felt or experienced. So this is why so much emphasis is, both in the Eastern and Western traditions, is placed on self-knowledge. It's why the word know thyself are carved above the Temple of Apollo at Delphi. This understanding that in order to find peace and happiness, the ultimate fulfillment in life, one must first know oneself as we essentially are. Why do we not know ourselves as we essentially are? Because most people's sense of their self is mixed up with or identified with the content of experience. And this amalgam of our essential self plus the limitations of experience produces an illusory self, a separate self or ego. And this illusory self veils or obscures the peace and happiness that are our nature. In response to the second question, what is the nature of the world we see? What is the nature of the universe? What is the nature of reality? As Swami suggested, the non-dual teaching suggests that behind the multiplicity and diversity of objects and people, there lies a single, infinite, and indivisible whole or reality from which everyone and everything borrows their apparently independent existence. Just like all the characters in a movie borrow their apparent reality from the single indivisible screen. So, why does this single, indivisible, and infinite reality appear as a multiplicity and diversity? Why does it appear in this dualistic subject-object relationship where otherness and separation seem to be so very real? It is, and I'm going to elaborate on the dream analogy that Swami suggested. It is one of the best, if not the best analogy that I know of for explaining this. As Swami suggested, when we fall asleep at night, our own mind overlooks or forgets that it is dreaming. In order to perceive the dreamed world, it must enter into our mind, enters into its own imagination, and seems to become a separate person, a separate subject of experience within its own dream, from whose perspective its own activity appears as the dreamed world. And of course, when we wake up, we realize we were not a separate subject of experience, and there were not numerous objects in themselves. It was all the activity of our own mind. Well, the non-dual teaching suggests that the ultimate reality, spirit, consciousness, the Godhead, Brahman, is, so to speak, dreaming or imagining the universe within itself. But in order to perceive that universe, it must temporarily overlook itself. It must localize itself as a separate subject of experience. And that's each of us. We are the separate subjects of experience, the eyes of a God, through which infinite consciousness views its own activity as an apparently outside world. The price it pays for this forgetting or overlooking of its true nature is suffering. And suffering is the call that we all feel to return from this apparently separate self to our true nature of infinite awareness. This unity behind the apparent multiplicity and diversity of experience is not something extraordinary or exotic. It is known by everybody as the experiences of love and beauty. When we love someone, we feel that we are one with them, that our being is their being. The beauty is exactly the same experience in relation to an object rather than a person. When we feel that a landscape is beautiful or a piece of music is beautiful, we have at that moment ceased to be a separate subject of experience. We have merged with the apparent object. We have recognized our prior unity. And in response to the third question, how should we live? I cannot improve on St. Augustine's response to this question about the ethical, moral obligation of one who has this understanding. He simply replied, love and do whatever you want, which is almost exactly as the same response as Jesus gave, that is recorded in the Gospel of St. Matthew. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Treat everyone and everything as your own being. If love, that is the recognition of our shared being, if we understand and feel that we share our being with everyone and everything, any action that proceeds from that understanding will be in line with and an expression of that understanding. And one is free to do whatever one wants, as long as it is informed by this felt understanding of our shared being. So that's a very brief summary, or one way that one could summarize the non-dual understanding. So, Swami, unless you and I want to have anything you want to say or ask, we could ask Rick to respond or to bring a question from participants. Is there anything you'd like to say? We share a lot of analogies: the ocean, the dream, the screen.
It's true. If I may, there's one question that came to my mind when I was listening to, and I've listened to this earlier also. You talk about the universe and our experiences as the activity of consciousness. Now, purely from an Advaita philosophical perspective, they would not ascribe activity to consciousness. They would just say it's a manifestation of consciousness, because the activity they would put it at a relative level, a relatively true activity, just as there is really no activity going on in the screen, although there's a lot of action happening in the movie. So it's not really an activity of the screen. It's just the very natural, it's just what the screen is. It shines forth in that way.
Yes, yes. Yeah. I would agree with you. The term, the activity of consciousness, is a concession, as indeed any expression of truth is a concession to the mind. It's a concession to the mind that sees movement, change, multiplicity, diversity. It's just as, to use your first analogy, when we look out at the ocean, we don't see a static, motionless, actionless ocean. We see an ocean that is moving and flowing. So from that point of view, we could say that the waves are the activity of the ocean, that the dreamed world is the activity of the dreamer's mind, that the movie we watch is the activity of the screen. Of course, you're absolutely right. If we touch the screen, we're watching a movie. There's a tremendous amount of activity going on. Appears to be going on, but when we touch the screen is not moving. It is motionless. So I mean, it's from an ultimate point of view, the screen is not. It is motionless, but it appears as movement, change, multiplicity, diversity. Yes.
In fact, in ancient India, there were different flavors of non-dual philosophy. So one of them, the Kashmiri Shaiva version, does in fact attribute activity as a kind of activity to the ultimate consciousness. It is a power of consciousness, and they take it to be real. But Advaita Vedanta does not, I think more for logical reasons, because they went through a nearly 1,000-year period of dialectics with opposite philosophical schools. The moment you attribute activity to consciousness, there's a whole host of dualistic philosophers and realistic philosophers who are waiting to say, gotcha. So if there's activity, there is change, and therefore you're back into a real dualistic world. But yes, from a spiritual point of view, one can see that you can regard this entire universe as just the manifestation of that one consciousness. Right. Should we ask Rick?
Rick, do you want to? Hi, Rick. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
There, I'm unmuted. Thank you. All right. So first of all, I think I'll pick up on the point you guys just made, which is that, and I'm glad Swamiji mentioned Kashmir Shaivism, because as I understand it, that discipline and also modern physics regards the sort of most fundamental level of nature's, of reality as being both kind of silent and dynamic. It's said that at the level of the vacuum state, there's more energy, latent energy in a cubic centimeter of empty space than there is in the whole manifest universe. So it's understood that there's this tremendous dynamism or latent potentiality within the unmanifest field, and that all the dynamism we see in the more manifest realms is a reflection of that, or a manifestation of that, probably a very partial manifestation. So I have another question I was going to ask, but I better bounce this back to you, having said what I just said.
You want me to respond?
Either one.
Okay. Now, I know the tremendous temptation, especially in our modern world, to find some correlate in physics or in neuroscience to what Advaita or the ancient non-dual philosophies are saying. I'd just be careful about that. Not that I'm against it. Swami Vivekananda, for example, who brought this Vedanta to the West, all the way back, he was talking with Nikola Tesla about the possibility of finding correlates in the understanding of physics at that time with Vedanta and Sankhya philosophies and so on. So in principle, I'm not against it. And I think it's a really good thing. And we must come to it someday, some kind of understanding. I just think we are not there yet. Recently, Brian Greene, the well-known cosmologist here at Columbia, he was launching his new book, Until the End of Time. So it's, I think if you look at the book, it's more philosophy than it is cosmology. And there he takes up the question about Advaita and modern cosmology. And he said, and he repeated it in that talk at Harvard University, he said that what you talk about in Vedanta is like a poetic echo. It's not science, it's like a poetic echo. It seems to be saying the same thing. It's like a poetic echo of what we find in modern cosmology, modern physics. So yeah, a very senior monk once told me, don't be in a hurry to identify the latest discoveries of modern physics with Advaita Vedanta or any of these philosophies, because physics is continuously changing, and the corridors of science are littered with the skeletons of past theories. So the moment you tie your understanding to one of these theories, and once that is disproved and science marches on, you are likely to be left behind in the dust also. But yes, you can clearly see parallels. These are very sophisticated. Maybe it's a different paradigm of understanding. I don't know. What would Rupert say about this?
I would say simply that I'm not a physicist and I'm not qualified to speak on physics, quantum physics view of even most of the physicists that I know. I don't know too many, but I've met quite a few over the years at the SAN conference. Most physicists don't understand quantum mechanics. And so I cannot comment on physics current perspective. I'm not qualified to do so. So I think all I would say is that the phrase that you used, Rick, that the quantum field, I think you said it acts without acting. I like this. This is very in line with the Kashmiri Shaivite approach that, as I said before, that the screen appears as 10,000 people in motion, but it is itself not moving. In other words, we could say within the limits of the metaphor, the screen moves without moving. It acts without acting. In that sense, Shakti is the activity of Shiva. Yeah. Experience is a modulation of infinite consciousness.
He who in action sees inaction, and in inaction sees action, right, Swami? You were just talking about that the other night. Rupert, this question is from Baldeep Singh in Dubai, but I've embellished it quite a bit. Please correct me if I'm misquoting you, but in your recent interview with Tim Freak, you said that you relate more to the word God these days. then to the term non-duality, but that you hesitate to speak that way because you would so easily be misunderstood. And Swami speaks of God in most of his talks. Ramana, Shankara, Ramakrishna, and many others in the Vedantic tradition have done so, and we're very devotional. Yet some students of Vedanta regard talk of God and devotion as dualistic. Now, there's a second part to this question I want to get in, and that is that in Swami's introduction, he alluded to the Mahavakyas, I am that, thou art that, all of this is that. But when you actually look at what that appears to be, it is such an incredible display of intelligence and creativity. Look at a single cell, and it's more complex than Tokyo, and it's able to repair and replicate itself, and we have trillions of them in our one body. So that the creation is just this marvelous thing, awe-inspiring. And it seems a little almost disrespectful to just brush it off as an illusion. If it's an illusion, it's a marvelous illusion. And, and it actually inspires devotion even to contemplate how sublime it is, how miraculous it is. So how would you, let me just throw in one more thing and then I'll finish. Saint Teresa of Avila said that it appears as though God himself is on the journey. So would you agree that the relative creation is not just a quagmire of delusion and suffering that we should try to escape from as soon as possible, but that it has an evolutionary purpose, both for all forms of life and perhaps even for God? And you could go on and elaborate on what you think God is and why the great Vedantic sages spoke so much and so highly of God. And this question is for either
so
both
many
of you who want to